Once again, it's time for the Team Lift podcast with your hosts, Brendan Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Let's go ahead and get right into the show.
Coach is playing his RPG, everybody. Coach, tell us about your RPG.
Hold on, man. I got to get to the point.
No, you need to tell us now.
No, bro.
Come on, tell us about your RPG.
You're just going to start the show recording while I'm doing that. That's so wrong on so many levels. Yeah, man. I'm playing an Otome, which means maiden game in Japan, Otome, and I'm playing Code Realized Guardian of Rebirth, and I play as a young lady being courted by 5 gentlemen, and it's a romance. It's not quite a dating sim, it's just a visual novel, but it's
a dating sim, don't let him fool you.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, okay, the end game is to get the true ending and to find true love, but I mean, still, it's not. I'm just doing, just playing it. I'm just wanting to see what happens with it. So, I actually am really good at it, though, is what's scary. I'm really good at being the belle of the ball. I've come to find this out. So it's I'm enjoying it, though. I will say that. It is definitely a different kind of game for me, man. But like all things, it comes to an end so we can start the show. I can't even believe you just started recording, man, while I was sitting there doing it. I was really caught up in that game, man. It's really a douche move, bro.
I could hear that music, man. I was
really caught up in it. It was like, the soundtrack on it is great. And it's like, if you're playing, like if you have PlayStation Plus, it's your free Vita game of the month. It's one of 2. And I was like, I'm all over this, man. I'm all over it. It was cool. And then today, before I came here, I stopped at Rogues Gallery, comic book shop up in Round Rock. Mm-hmm. Had a kick-ass meeting there. I was picking up all my new stuff. So like Teen Titans, Detective Comics 943 came out today. So it starts a new Batman storyline called The Victim Syndicate, which is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And I picked up Teen Titans, and I picked up Titans, and I picked up Volumes 4 and 5 of Ino Yoshiki. So I'm all over the map this week, man. I'm just trying to get a bunch of stuff, man. Just getting it all put together.
So you posted this thing. It's the 15 things you didn't know about Alfred.
Yes. Can
you tell us about that?
Bro, okay. So
share with the class.
Well, here's the thing about this. And basically what it is, we do a lot about comic books on here, right? Mm-hmm. And this was just some cool stuff about Alfred Pennyworth, Batman's butler, that most people may not have known. And it just really goes through the history of the character. And here was the one thing I didn't know. Like, his name used to be Alfred Beagle. Yeah, now check this out. The Golden Age version was actually named Alfred Beagle. The name was changed when the comics creators altered the appearance of the characters in the 1940s, becoming Pennyworth, presumably to better suit the new character's appearance, right? And so it's really weird, but it seems like what they used to do is his appearance was changed to match his live-action counterpart. So in 1943, I guess there was a Batman black and white serial, kind of like The Shadow and stuff. And Alfred was a fat, bumbling amateur detective. He wore a deerstalker hat and smoked a pipe like Sherlock Holmes. And although his intentions were good, his efforts usually hampered Batman more than they helped him. That was the original thing. So what they did is when they made the live action appearance, his butler was played by William Austin, a tall, thin man with a small mustache and an English accent. And it was a huge departure from the look of the original character. But fans and the creators loved Austin's take so much that they changed Alfred to match it. And then the useless comedic figure was gone, and the dignified and capable butler that we know and love was born, mustache and all. I'm going to actually put this on our page. But it's really a cool thing. Like, it goes through the whole history about, how they've had like the Golden Age, Silver Age, and they took the best of both worlds and pulled, like, he has multiple backstories. Like, and I kind of knew that because I think the one that we settled on is the one that we have now, where he was an ex-soldier who fought in World War II.
Yeah, that's
You know,
like
he was British Army trained. He's kind of a badass. That's
Yeah.
how he can patch Bruce up in the cave and stuff.
that's where they're going with the one that they have on Gotham. It's like he's ex SAS.
Exactly. So I mean, that's from the comic book. I had no idea. And
The best
he-
one on this list though is him beating the shit out of Superman
yes,
in Injustice.
dude, my favorite. He's the only member of the Batman family that's allowed to use firearms because he is ex-military. He's
Yeah.
and it's actually happens that he uses a gun for protection, including his handy dandy shotgun, which I haven't seen that ever before. But I was like, badass. Okay, Pennyworth has a shotgun. Okay,
We need Alfred to when the zombie apocalypse comes. We need him on The Walking Dead.
bro. Somewhere
Maybe he
I
could've
would like
saved
to
Glenn.
think Gotham is safe with Batman there. And then he breeds roses. He feeds the Wayne bats. I didn't know this, but it was in the comic book that at one point, I guess they were talking about it, and like Bruce had no idea that he was the one that feeds the bats he feeds them. He lays food out for them and maintains the cave system. So I was just like, there was some cool stuff about Alfred that I just had never, I didn't know it from the comic book, but I also realized this. He's been kidnapped multiple times.
That's all Alfred does is get kidnapped, really.
Bro, but here's my thing. I did not realize this. Like, in the New Adventures of Batman, it's revealed that he's been kidnapped 27 times. An absolutely huge number that doesn't include attempted kidnappings and other attacks that he has faced over the years. And so I was just like, what? 27 times? Bro, if you get kidnapped 27 times running with one fool, maybe it's time to quit running with that one fool.
He's like Princess Peach.
Damn. Yeah, he is. He really is. He
Speaking
really
of Princess Peach, are you ready for Monday?
Oh, no. No,
No?
I have no pink dress. I didn't go pick up the wig, and I left the gloves at the store, so I got to go run and grab all that today. Did you get anything?
My Harambe costume's been at work for a while now.
Are you Donkey Kong?
Yeah. It's been at my desk this whole time.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I got it, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday last week?
I just have a hard time going to the idea of that I'm about to buy a fucking pink dress to be Princess Peach for one day. I'm buying a pink dress to wear for one
That
day.
doesn't mean that you only have to wear it for one day. I mean, you can wear the Princess Peach outfit to work whenever you'd like.
Fuck no, because they won't let me wear my French maid outfit to work whenever I like. So no, you don't get Princess.
There's something horrifying about that, though.
Bro, the
That's
pictures
actually
are out
scary.
there, man. There are pictures out there of me dressed as a French maid, and it was the hardest thing to explain to my wife and kids. It was just one of those things where, look, Daddy's been through some things since he's been in Austin. Don't ask questions. Move around. That's really what happened with
Taking
that.
over for Leslie.
Yeah, it's just, I got to do what I got to do, man. I'm trying to make this money. Okay. All right, man. Enough about this. This is craziness. There has been some wild stuff going on, man, lately. So, have you heard? Okay,
What?
so there's a couple things that I want to get into this. I don't even know where I want to go with this. There's been some craziness with the internet lately. So we know that Google had quietly dropped a ban on personally identifiable web tracking, right?
Yeah, that just happened on the 21st, I think.
Yeah, but then didn't Congress turn around and protect pass these really sweeping reforms?
No, they're not even really sweeping. They're like,
What's going on with this whole thing? Because one, it
stuff
seems
that-
like they're trying to protect your identity while Google says, hey, we're going to.
the stuff that the FCC put through is like nominal at best. I mean, they are protections, but they're not sweeping changes to the way that privacy is being handled. Basically, they're saying that ISPs can't sell your information to other companies without your consent. That's
Right.
all it really boils down to, which is not a huge change.
I think that was already you had to consent to anybody selling your information, and you always had to opt out.
Yeah. Well, right now there is no opt-in or opt-out process. That's the thing. It's like all of your data that is being collected by your ISP can be sold off to other companies for ad reasons or for whatever other reasons that they want to sell the data just to make money. So the FCC is basically saying, no, you can't do that anymore. And then at the same time, Google is basically making it so that there were two piles of data. There was a pile of data about that was related to tracking you as far as what you do so that they can hit you with targeted ads. And then there's your other pile of data, which is your personal stuff like Google Plus and Gmail and all of those things. Google didn't correlate those datums together.
Right.
So now they are doing that. So now they can go and literally just pull one string and pull your name and your address and all of your email addresses and your blog and all that shit in and connect it directly to where you go on the web and what you look at and what you buy to create a model of how to sell ads to you better.
Bro, this is messed up because
Yeah.
if anybody ever... Okay, like I know right now that they can go in there and tell who looks at porn.
Yeah.
They can do it. It's not even that hard. They can go into your history and go, this person looks at porn, or this person likes these types of movies and cartoons, and this person goes to... You are on the internet. You're not hidden as well as you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I want everybody to know everything about me.
So the thing about this, though, on the Google side of things, is you can go and actually opt out of this.
At the Google site.
Yeah, so to opt out of Google's identified tracking, visit the activity controls page on Google's My Account page and uncheck the box to include Chrome browsing history and activity from websites and apps that use Google services. And you can also delete your past activity. So it's a change that they're making, but they're not making it really transparent to users that you can go and opt out of it, but they're making it so that it's a user choice thing rather than them just doing it by default.
But they expect 98% of people to be apathetic and not go look.
Exactly.
Because that's what we all do as a country and as a people. We just, what's the big deal? And we don't do anything about it. And we, then we can't understand how you're holding a conversation with someone one day about this rare item, and then next thing you know, it shows up in your Facebook feed as an ad, which has happened to me several times. That has happened to me more times than I like to think.
I have an explanation as to how that could happen without any nefarious means. Say you're talking to somebody about this thing that you want, like say you're talking to your wife about this thing that you want. Mm-hmm. You both live in the same place. You both use the same internet connection. Your wife knows that you want that thing. So if she goes and starts doing searches for it, and
at that same computer,
not even at that same computer, just at the same IP address, because
Okay.
everybody's tied in with the same IP. So she goes and starts doing those searches to try to buy it because she's going to buy it for you for Christmas, so that thinking that you won't know. That's how it gets into the ads that you're seeing, because she's searching for it. Even
somebody at
though
that
you're
IP
not.
address is searching for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a weird one, man, because when you know you're not looking for it and you just thought about it, have a conversation, and then it shows up, you're kind of like, what the crap?
Well, I mean, there was a point in the late 90s, early 2000s where Google wanted to use microphones that were connected, to individual computers to just listen to what was going on in your house and then provide ads based on like a robot listening to that and then correlating it with ads. They never implemented it because everybody was just like, what the fuck are you doing? So it's taken about 10 or 15 years now for people to get used to the fact that something can be listening and responding to you through the use of things like Siri and Google Now and Cortana and...
Yeah. Well, aren't LG TVs, like
No, it's Samsung TVs.
Samsung TVs,
Yeah.
actually do?
Yeah, there's some line of Samsung televisions. Actually, I think most Samsung televisions now have a camera and a microphone in them, and they have instructions in the end user license agreement that's like in the manual that you get that just say, if there's something that you don't want us to hear, you just don't say it around this television, because the fucking TV's always listening. So the only way that you could keep it from reporting in whatever it's listening to is to completely disconnect it from the internet, because you can't actually disable those features on the TV. I think they were only selling them in Australia as well. At least that's where the original story came out of. But this was like over a year ago, almost 2 years now.
That's some creepy shit.
Yeah.
That's creepy. I don't care who you are. That's creepy as fuck, man.
Well, if you're going to get into like an Android-powered smart television that has the ability to use Google Now, all of those features are the same thing that are on your cell phone.
On your phone anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I have in there, I have my NVIDIA Shield, which it's powered by Android TV, and I can talk to my television and tell it to fucking search for stuff.
Well, you remember we had this experience, video game business. I was playing FIFA 15, 16. I forget which one of them. I ended up taking, I want to say 16 is when I took my PlayStation 4, the PlayStation camera off of my PS4.
Yeah.
Because I would be playing a match, and then I'd get pissed, and, you get pissed, and what do? You yell out, fuck! And then all of a sudden I'm getting a red card. And I'm like, why am I getting a red card? I'm not anywhere near anybody. I didn't just foul on the play, but the camera listens to what you say and then transports that into the game. So if you're up there cursing like a belligerent caveman, guess what? You're getting red cards and yellow cards all of a sudden in this game. And that is the feature I hate the most in FIFA. But it's also the reason I quit. I totally took my camera off. Done. Nope. And you remember that was the thing about when the Xbox came out, that they kept saying, hey, the Kinect is always on.
Yeah.
No, what do you mean it's always on? It's always listening to you. It's always on.
Mm-hmm. And it's always watching you, too, because it can actually track your movement.
Oh, well, we know that. You know that most people got mad with the Kinect because I had signed into my profile at work with the Kinect. And so anytime I'd come into the room and it see me, it would automatically start tracking me in the studio. So people would be up there playing their games, but then it would sign me into the account because I walked in, and next thing I know, I'm getting achievements in games that I've never played. I just walk into the room while somebody was playing something, and it'd be like, Roderick, you just got all the UFC achievements. I did?
Yeah.
I've never started that game.
So on the cool side of that type of technology, you can actually take the original Kinect from the 360, and you can hook it up to your PC with USB, and you can install drivers, and then you can actually use it to do full body tracking for you when you're in VR. And if you combine that with Leap Motion, which is another motion sensing technology that you can attach to the face of your VR headset, you can do full hand tracking. So in something like AltSpace, you can have your entire body represented, and you can see your entire body, and you can move your individual fingers and grab things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, the technology is cool. It just depends on how it's used. It's really a problem.
But this is the problem with technology. It's always somehow used to fuck us.
Yeah, well.
I mean, there's more times than not. We always say, that's cool, until we're being bent over by it. And then it's like, that wasn't as cool as I thought it was, and this kind of hurts.
It's like when robots try to run over little children.
That kid had it coming. Okay, we're talking about that robot in Japan. The security bot at the mall in Japan that ran over the little kid. First of all, the robot didn't want a kid hugging it. Get away from me, you little tiny humanoid with your huggy hands dripping with syrup and cola. Move. Runs him over. He knows, don't hug a robot anymore. So
let's see, what else? Oh yeah, the big announcement from Microsoft. They announced the new Surface Studio PC, which is basically just a fucking iMac running Windows. And it's priced about the same. The power per performance that you get for what you're paying for is pretty bad. It's not as bad as the performance delta on per price on fucking Apple products, but this one has
they built this thing to go head to head with an iMac.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a Skylake in it, and you can get it with all the way up to I think a 960M graphics card,
right?
Which isn't that bad, but it's pretty shitty.
Have you seen the thing? The video for it?
Yeah. It does
Okay.
have some really cool fucking features.
That's what kills me. It's not okay. Here's the thing. I sent the video out to a couple of people that listen to the show, and so I was like, "Hey, just give me your initial thoughts on this. What do you think?" Nobody, everybody said, "Well, it's kind of pricey," because I think the top of the line is a $4,000.
Yeah.
But everybody said the same thing. Man, it's kind of pricey at $4,000, but my God, being able to lay your monitor flat and just do stuff.
Right on it.
And everybody says, if I was an architect or
Yeah.
something, I'd be all over that damn thing. And I was
seen
thinking,
it.
yeah, I guess you could see that.
I haven't heard back from her, but I sent it over to my friend Tara. She's a tattoo artist in San Antonio. Because I was thinking, like, this would be perfect for her. Like, you could use it as a regular PC. It's powerful enough to play games and stuff, and then she can also, lay it down, write on it. It has this cool, like, little hockey puck thing that you can use as a dial, or you can put it on the screen, and it comes up with, like, the color wheel around it, and you
Saw
can
it.
dial it,
Yes.
choose your color. That kind of stuff is really good. Although the only thing I would be worried about with that is, like, if that little puck gets dirty on the bottom and then you put it on your screen and then you turn it and you just fucking gouge your screen because of the dust that's on the bottom of it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they got to have addressed that, man. There's got to be something under there, but we're gonna find out soon. I want to get my hands on one. Just when the Microsoft Store here's got to get a demo in.
They probably already have one. Microsoft also announced that they're going to be integrating VR into Windows 10 and that they're going to be releasing VR headsets starting at $299.
Okay, let us stop right here because I saw this story.
Yeah.
And The Verge had covered it, and I'm not quite sure where we're going here because let me say it like this. I've had experience with VR now because of you in the Vive and our show. I don't want to say that you are. You're
I'm
biased.
yeah.
You are a Vive fan. We got some guys at work. One of the guys I want to actually bring on the show here in the near future, he seems to be an Oculus Rift fan. And, you both had chosen your component. This is what I'm a stake my life on, right? I, on the other hand, I think I'm like about 70% of consumers. We look at which one is the most popular, which one seems to have the most users, which one seems to have the most innovation and updates, and we go with that one. Kind of like when there was, Blu-ray in HD
Yeah.
in Blu-ray 1 because more people seem to bank on it. And I always told everybody, hey, wherever the porn industry goes, that's the one you bank on. All right, Blu-ray 1. I'm kind of feeling the same way that the Vive is going to be the peripheral of choice. I think it's going to win. Based on our numbers on Steam, what we've seen so far, the Vive is leaps and bounds ahead of the Oculus Rift as in its install base.
Yeah, and the second generation controllers that they were showing off at the Valve event, because Valve does this thing that they call Steam Dev Days.
Yeah.
They showed off a new controller scheme where the controller literally is kind of like a band that wraps around the middle of your hand, just below your knuckles, but
Right.
above your thumb. And so you can literally like let it go and it doesn't drop off your hand because it's attached to you. It has sensors on the back, it has sensors on the front. It's got one of the thumb pads on it like the regular controllers do. It's
Right.
got multiple buttons. And the cool thing about it is like you can use it, you can grasp something, like say you grasp a sword hilt, you feel a sword hilt in your hand, you like go to throw the sword or the axe at somebody and you throw it and you actually open your hand and it can track, whether your hand is open or closed. And it's like I guess their answer to what's going to be coming out in December for Oculus with the Oculus Touch.
Right.
Only it's going to be a brand new set of controllers. So the Oculus or the Vive seems to continue to be evolving, whereas the Oculus still hasn't even gotten to the point where they've gotten all their peripherals out.
It barely can get it into the market. People are still, here we are. This is
Right now-
October,
Yeah.
the end of October, and we still have people that were trying to still get theirs.
No, I think they fixed all their distribution problems.
They said that, but you remember that was still like
That
we were
was-
talking about even in September.
that
There
was
were still
late.
people not getting those.
That was late August, early September. I think their supply issues are taken care of finally. But their fucking CEO is a douchebag. But we've already covered that.
Yeah,
So what
Palmer
I think,
Luckey is a fucking idiot. That's all I'm gonna say about that, and we'll stop there.
getting back to the Microsoft thing, I think that they're introducing this API and they're introducing these headsets so that Microsoft has an answer to PlayStation's VR. Because the headset, if you look at the two headsets that they show there, they're very, very similar to the PlayStation VR headset. In fact, I'd
It
say
looks
that they're
almost like it.
yeah, I'd say they're probably being manufactured by the same company. And so it's going to be a low cost. It's probably going to I think it's going to have inside out tracking, and I doubt it's going to be very very. It's not going to be a Vive competitor if you want to go like feature to feature, but it is going to be a way for people to be able to get VR probably on the Scorpio in their living room without having, because the main bitch that everybody has is that they've got to dedicate space to it and they've got to have these tracking things and nobody likes to have it. Everybody wants a fucking miracle, but nobody wants to make a sacrifice to have that miracle actually happen.
Exactly.
So inside out tracking right now is the big thing. Everybody's trying to figure that out. Even Oculus has a fully untethered, everything is in the headset, including the rendering headset now that they've got in testing. But a headset like that is going to cost $1,200 to $1,500. It's not going to be something
You're not
cheap.
going to get in cheap. Sorry.
Whereas the Vive, I mean, the tracking's not changing on the Vive, but HTC is working on a wireless standard to allow you to drop the wire that would have to go to your PC to provide you with power and to provide you with video and all of that. So more like it's going to probably be like some kind of a belt clip system where you basically are clipping batteries to your belt.
Or it has charging capabilities to last for so many hours before you have to throw it back in the charger or connect again.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this is my thing, man. Like, and I've told you, and we said it on the show, I always side on the side of consumers, probably because I worked in retail for so many years. Mm-hmm. I always look at availability to the market, okay, and how widely used is it. Now, let's be honest. In this short period of time, VR is growing by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things that you could think about doing in a VR headset was, hey, what if I could simulate going to the drive-in theater and watching actual movies in my headset and zoning out the outside world? That's capability. That's capable. Right now, there's I don't think I'm underestimating if I say there's hundreds of different apps out there right now that will do that.
Yeah, there's definitely at least 4 or 5 that I know of that are on the Steam store for the Vive already. Like there's multiple ones that are like, you know, virtual desktop type stuff, and even the virtual desktop ones have like a theater mode.
Exactly.
And then there's other ones. There's one that's on the Vive Port store that's exactly what you were saying.
The one that lets you simulate the drive-in theater. I saw that one.
Yeah.
And it's like you really went to an old classic drive-in theater like you're in your car watching a movie. And I thought that's neat as fuck. I don't care what anybody says. So I thought that was cool, but still it's the idea that people are already starting to push that out there. So there's things that we're going to see growing with this. But, man, it's almost at the same point. I'm one of those people that gets a little apprehensive anytime I see Sony and Microsoft try to throw their hat into it.
Yeah.
Because I always wonder, will it be good? Now, one of the guys who we were going to have on here today, Belly, Adrian Oliva, we were going to have him on here. We couldn't get the schedules to match up, but I think next Sunday, if we can do the show, we're going to try to get him in. Yeah. He has gone all in. He bought the PS4 or the PlayStation VR. Okay, so he's doing that. He loves it. He's a fan of it. He's already talking about that he's not getting the motion sickness. So him and his brothers are playing on it. I want to get him on here, and we're actually going to talk to somebody about it. But as a PC gamer, you know, he's more of a PC guy than anything. He's a lot like me. He plays on PC, but he loves that PS4 and the Vita. He's, you know, just a Sony kind of a fanboy. He self-admitted Sony fanboy is what he is. He has had some experience with the Vive, and so he said, yeah, he said it's not so much about, he said, quality wise. He said, I can't say, oh, it's on the level of a Vive, and I would never say that. He said, but the thing that makes any peripheral is always going to be the software. And he said, as a guy that's going through the Steam market, I feel like I get more actually, realized games. And he said, that could just be my personal perception of it. He said, but I feel like I get more actual games than I do tech demos disguised as games. And I said, I don't know. I haven't done it. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I give him this one. Like, there's one that everybody seems to be is doing well in sales and seems to be getting some pretty good reviews. Is the Until Dawn, which is an on-rail shooter for the PlayStation VR. The Batman one, which
The Batman one's like
3 or 4 hours and you're done.
2 hours. 2 hours if you're lucky, and that one is a tech demo.
That's a tech demo to me. I told you, yeah, it's a tech demo with Batman as a game. I mean, that's really what I feel. But he liked it. But he really said, as far as like a game, he said Until Dawn was a fully realized game. The game that you and I play the most, well, let me say, the game that I play the most, you're more of a raw data guy on the Vive.
Yeah, raw data. I want to pick up Onward. I still haven't gotten it yet. The Onward's supposedly really, really good.
What was the Longbow, the game inside the Steam,
The Lab.
the lab? Oh my God! If Longbow was a game by itself, we brought
Well, there
Reed
is-
on here, and he sat here and played Longbow for what, an hour?
There is another title that's called Quiver, Q-U-I-V-R. Mm-hmm. And it is basically the same thing that Longbow is, only it's more fully realized. It's not just like little stick figures like running around trying to break into a castle.
Right.
There's like skeletons, and then there's big boss mobs and stuff like that, but you're using a bow and arrow to shoot them from like a castle wall. So that one's a more fully realized title. I think coming up we have the 2 games from Ubisoft. We have the Star Trek Bridge.
Yeah. And now that's going to have
Bridge
multiplayer,
Crew.
right?
Star Trek Bridge Crew, yeah, and that one's coming out in April. And then in December, they're releasing they've got this game where you play as birds. It's a multiplayer game where you're like flying around.
I
playing,
remember
like-
watching that video for that, man. I got to get that trailer again. I cannot think of the name
I
of
can't
it.
remember the name of it either.
I do know the one that PlayStation that has me excited, and I've even talked about doing something for our Twitch channel, Resident Evil, and I want to do Resident Evil VR. The idea of me playing, okay, we've already talked about us doing for our Twitch channel, me playing raw data, because let's be honest, I screamed like a little girl when that damn robot rolled up behind me, and you had a blast with it. And then I told Belly about it. He said, your subscribers would love to see you in this thing. And I was like, I think it would be cool. We're going to probably do something on our Twitch channel where I start playing horror games in the VR just to see what happens. I've been working out. My blood pressure is, normal. So it's not like trying to scare yourself post-heart attack. So we'll see what happens. I just want to see where it goes, though. But we'll definitely get in on that one. Man, also some sad news, man. Steve Dillon, creator of Preacher,
Yep.
passed away. I had no idea until you sent this to me. And especially when you think, man, he was young. He was 54.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a little too young for you to be, leaving, man. And did you hear anything? Was he sick? What was going on?
I do not know. I don't even know if they actually posted a reason.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard anything about what happened. I just know that he had passed. And here's the thing: a lot of people, when we, on this show, we talk about guys like that. Steve Dillon, he co-created the comic book series Preacher. Him and
Yeah.
Garth Ennis did that together. And that was the thing, and he worked on Doctor Who Weekly. He did some stuff with Animal Man, The Atom, Screamer.
Fury.
He did some stuff with the Hellblazer, Nick Fury. I mean, this guy was, he had worked on some stuff, but you know what I found out about him? When I started looking into his history and the stuff that he worked on, he was another one of those guys that came out of that 80 2000 group, man.
Yeah. 2000 AD.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, you look at the talent that thing turned out, which we need to really discuss that one day, man, because there is some guys that have influenced comic books over the last 25 years that came out of that.
Yeah.
And he was one of them, man. And just to see, to know he's gone at the age of 54, I was just like, man, that is a brutal.
Yeah, they didn't confirm how he died. They just confirmed that he had died.
That he had passed. So definitely hated seeing that this week.
So getting back to computer stuff for just a second.
Yeah.
So we've been waiting for Zen from AMD for a long time. It's that new architecture. Quarter 1. So sometime
I've
in
heard
the first
that they've
4 months,
confirmed it is coming Q1.
Yeah. The CEO, Lisa Su, confirmed that Zen is coming out in Q1 of 2017. So, I mean, and that's going to be big. I hope they don't fuck it up. That's really all I've got to say about it.
And it's an 8-core Summit Ridge processor?
Yeah, so they've rumored that it's going to come in flavors of 8, 10, and then all the way up to like 32 cores for like servers and stuff like that. So, and then the 8-core processor is going to be their standard processor that comes out, and it's going to have 8 actual cores with a hyper-threading like ability. So it's going to be 8 physical cores with 16 virtual cores, just like Intel has. And at a clock for clock, they clocked those against, I think it was Broadwell. Clock for clock, they were getting better results with the AMD, although they didn't. It was one of those things. It's like a tech demo. They just showed it happening, but they didn't really show you how the sausage was made. They were just like, let's start these two at the same time. Oh, this one finished first, kind of thing. And they didn't really give us any more details. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I know that they've already kind of announced that the X370 is going to be their high-end chipset. Mm-hmm. The B350 is going to be their mainstream, kind of middle-of-the-road chipset. And then the A320, so A, B, and X, A being budget-friendly, budget-conscious. Here's my thing. In the video game industry, it is very easy for us to realize that monopolies exist. Mm-hmm. I think NVIDIA has damn near a stranglehold on GPUs in our...
Not GPUs, CPUs.
On CPUs, I mean, in just the business. I mean, they just kind of... They got it on lock, man. Most people go with them.
The problem right now is that AMD hasn't produced a new chipset in nearly 10 years.
Right.
Like it's going on 8 years now that they haven't had a new architecture, and then whole time they just keep losing ground. So I mean, this could be a second coming, like it was in the mid 90s when AMD released the first x64 processor, mm-hmm. and then and gained a shitload of market share because they were the only ones with those processors. And then later, Intel came back and did two things. They reverse engineered AMD's design, and they created their own 64-bit chipset. And then on top of that, they did some shady shit where they produced compilers that were specific to their chipset. So if you were running software on something that wasn't a genuine Intel processor, it would actually run slower, so that they could show that they were beating AMD in benchmarks. It was really fucking shady. Like, it's the kind of shit that should be regulated by the government, but it's not. And so that started to tank AMD's market share. That's why they went down. So maybe Zen is going to bring them back up to that.
Yeah.
They're going to come out with a processor that's going to be lower cost, that's going to have the same or better results, and they're going to start kicking ass again. Mm-hmm. But got to wait and see.
Yeah, can't wait. Also, cool news. You turned me on to something else this week, man. Mm-hmm. My boy Donald Glover. I love this guy. Mm-hmm. I love Childish Gambino. You know, he's always doing something really cool. But I think it's cool when a guy like that says his mom said, "Don't ruin Lando Calrissian for me."
Yeah.
So I guess he's been selected to be he's going to be young Lando,
So they're doing a movie about young
Han Solo. I
Han
knew
Solo,
that was coming.
and then of course Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, like all of those characters are coming back, but he's been cast as young Lando.
I don't feel, uh, I don't feel like it's going to be bad. You know, think of he's going to be in Spider-Man, right?
I think so. Yeah.
He's coming to the. I want to say that him and Hannibal Buress have both been tapped to be in Homecoming.
Yeah.
We still don't know what his role is in Homecoming, though.
We don't know what role Donald Glover's playing, but we know what role
Hannibal Buress we know is a
Hannibal's.
coach.
He's going to be a coach.
So I still don't know what Donald Glover's doing, but I still think that, when it comes to this guy, it's pretty safe to say he's going to probably freaking kill it. I like to say he's going to kill it, man. We'll find out soon, though. We will find out soon with that one. But I thought that was a cool story, and I guess he was on Ellen talking about it. And the interview is out there. We probably need to put this on the page for everybody to see it, but kind of neat to see that he's getting that role. He's starting to kind of move along. I sent you a story. You laughed at it. I just thought it was kind of neat, man, that, Twitter, it's official, is axing Vine video service.
And YouPorn, or not YouPorn, Pornhub in Canada, they want to buy it. Their tagline was 6 seconds is more than enough.
First of all, can I just tell you how awesome whoever the creative guys at Pornhub are, they have got to be the funnest people in the universe to hang out with, because April Fool's Day, Cornhub,
Yeah.
and it's a porn website. We know it's a porn website, but every April Fool's Day they break the freaking internet by putting on videos of, instead of pornography, it's cornography, and it's videos of corn.
Hardcore pornography.
Yeah, hardcore cornography. So it's corn popping, corn boiling, corn simmering, being melted in butter. These videos are getting views. Like, people are like, I just watched 3 minutes of corn getting butter slathered all over it.
Is there a slogan like "Get your cornhole ready"?
See, I knew you were gonna say something so wrong. It took you only 40 minutes today, so you're getting better. You were gonna say something inappropriate, but no, that's cool, because here's the thing. The big stink about this was that, let's face it, a lot of personalities came up through Vine. A lot of young, funny talent came up through Vine. And so when I'm seeing that all this talent was coming up, the thing that they kept saying is that, think about it, the people who were funny in 6 seconds that broke big had already left. They had either went to Instagram, and then the stuff that you were doing is like, you weren't going to Vine, building a Vine account to watch 6 second videos. You said it. I just went to YouTube and I watched a compilation of the funniest videos of the month of October 2017.
Yeah.
And most people had watched that once or twice. You've seen a Vine compilation video. Other guys that left and already went to, like Darius Benson, who was known, the black guy that did all the hip hop Disney. He had already gone and has, over 1 million followers. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's got his Instagram account. So he had already kind of left it behind.
I never honestly saw a use to fucking Vine. Really.
No.
I mean, other than like Will Sasso with the fucking lemon videos, I never really cared.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, the stuff that was funny, nobody went to Vine to create an account. You just shared it from Vine on other social media. It was either in somebody's Twitter page, Instagram page, or Facebook page. So Vine never could actually stand on its own as its own service.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, it could get interesting that Pornhub is buying them. All I know is that the guy who,
CEO.
I think it was Russ Yusupov. He was one of the 3 co-founders of Vine. he tweeted, "Don't sell your company." That was one of the only thing he tweeted on the day that the announcement was made.
It's funny that he tweeted it too. Like,
Yeah, no, the irony of that never got over me is that you tweeted it on Twitter. The company that's
I'm gonna shit all over the social media company on their own platform.
yeah,
That'll show them.
yeah, I'm using your platform to shit on you. Yeah, and they're like, yes, thank you for using our platform. So yeah, that got me. I just kept thinking, really, you tweeted that? Okay, and I still don't know where that's going to go. I'm gonna just kind of watch it because to me, it was just the idea that hey, that's actually they're getting rid of it. And the thing that got me about that, and this is what I think I brought up to you earlier this week, it was kind of shitty because Twitter buys you, right? Twitter buys Vine.
I don't even know where the fuck Twitter got any money to buy anybody. Twitter doesn't make money. They're like on the verge of selling the company to other companies and shutting down entirely.
Which is what I try to figure out. Like, when did you have money to buy shit? Because who's paying you? I don't see a lot of advertising on Twitter. Let's face it. The only advertising I get is if I like follow a video game company or a developer. That's the only advertising. I pick that, to follow them in their tweets.
Yeah.
So where are they making money?
It's not. Most companies make if your company does not make money by like charging a subscription fee, then you make money by selling your users' data. But obviously, there's not much fucking data to sell. It's fucking Twitter. It's like 144 characters.
Yeah.
So.
But they were making some money. I mean, I've seen sponsored tweets and stuff in my feed.
Yeah.
But I never really clicked on anything. I've never seen a tweet that was like, well, that's a great commercial. That 140 words made me want to go click on that.
No. With advertising on the web, a lot of the times, I mean, you do get money per click, but you also get money just for showing the ad. Like, if you can prove that somebody downloaded it from a specific IP address, then you get a certain amount of money. And if they click on it, you get a certain other amount of money. That's where it's supposed to be. But, like, Twitter was never something that I thought was ever going to survive. I don't even know how the fuck they've gotten along this long.
Bro, questions. That's all I have from this whole thing. Questions. Because when I saw this, I kept going, they're selling that, huh? How did they make the money to buy it? Then they create, okay, but here's the other thing. They buy Vine and then figure out Vine and then make their own damn thing called Periscope and then say, Vine, hey, man, we're going to let you go.
Well, Periscope is different, though. Vine is like 6-second videos that you can upload. Periscope is...
Like my whole comedy show went to Periscope one time. I did a set that I watched on Periscope.
Yeah. I mean,
somebody was in the audience in Periscope, my whole stand-up set one night.
Periscope is just live streaming video from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different technology. It's a different platform. So Fantastic Four.
Oh my gosh. You are so excited about this news.
I want it to happen, but I don't know.
Okay, so the great guys over at comicbookmovie.com, really solid website. They do have a tendency sometimes to get some information out early, and it's on point. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, it was a rumor, but we're not quite sure where it's going to go. This one here, though, I find it very interesting.
So after Sony's failed multiple times to create a successful Fantastic Four franchise, they are apparently entering into a deal for, just like Spider-Man, to have Marvel start producing content and bringing those characters back into the fold. So Galactus, Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, the Fantastic Four themselves, all of those characters that they sold, quote unquote, to Sony a long time ago, they're getting back the rights to be able to do them on television and in film, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thing. We saw what could happen when you let Marvel do your movie for you, a la Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets to come to the table and eat and make money. We see what happens when Sony comes to the table and says, here's Spider-Man. Use him in your movie. Sony, reportedly, made a nice little killing with that.
Yeah.
They were not complaining the whole way to the bank. Let's say that. And then it created hype for the whole Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, the idea that we're going to see guys like Tony Stark, come over from Iron Man into the movie. You know, we know there's going to be some crossover with other Marvel characters. I think this is just everybody making money and being happy making money.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Fox, on the other hand, seems to be adamant about we will ruin this damn thing before we sit down and deal with you. And that's always what we've said about this. It just never made sense. You make these shitty Fantastic Four movies, your X-Men movies, which used to be the epitome of like fan favorites, are now ridiculed mostly for being schlock, and you keep letting Bryan Singer do them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just at one point, when do you stop? When is enough and you just say, you know what? Marvel seems to know how to make these movies and what they're doing with the characters. Let's let Marvel do this. Let's just let them have it. Let's just let them go at it. And we all make money. Nobody loses.
The Defenders, I think they announced recently that the Defenders is going to get 8 episodes. That's going to be the Defenders run.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I mean, if you think about it this way, we're getting basically street level Avengers, and we're getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 4 movies worth of the Defenders, and we've only gotten 2 Avengers movies. I mean, technically, Civil War you could consider an Avengers movie because it includes all of the Avengers.
Yeah, true.
But in that 8 hours of television, I think they can do more storytelling than they could ever do on the big screen with these characters, because they have the time and they've taken the time to be able to flesh them all out.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Marvel didn't do that already with the other movies for each of the Avengers, but I think it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah. Now, and speaking of, did you ever finish Luke Cage?
Yeah.
On your scale, where's Luke fall out of all the Marvel Netflix TV shows? Where do you rank it?
It's like even with Daredevil.
Season 1 or season 2?
Season 1.
Season 1 of Daredevil was amazing. Season 2 of Daredevil had the fucking Punisher. And there's a lot of people that love season 2 more than season 1 because of the Punisher. Season 1 personally was my favorite because that one scene where he fights down the long hallway in that one continuous shot.
Yeah.
To get to that kid. Every Marvel show has a scene that cements that show for me. That was that scene for me.
Yeah.
When he fought down that hall. Daredevil just was like, I'm done. I got to follow this show. That one scene locked me in. Luke Cage, when he goes into that project and clears it out with a car door, and I was like, done. This is my show.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to, and here's the thing. Did you notice this? My brother pointed this out to me. Every time Luke puts his headset in,
yeah.
Do you realize that every song he listened to was the edited version of those songs?
Yeah, they're all censored.
Because he didn't curse, so he listened
doesn't curse, so he listens to music that
doesn't curse.
Have cursing
and I was just like, that was so neat. It was just those little things they did that just made me go. I said, no, I didn't even pay attention to it. I had to go back and watch the scene again just to pay attention that we were listening to "Bring the Ruckus" by the Wu-Tang, but it was the censored version. It's neat. I love stuff like that, man. So Luke Cage, definitely my number 2, man.
I have this feeling that everything that was done in Luke Cage, from the bad choreography to the music, like that, any music that wasn't like a mainstream song, that would just had that nice 70s vibe to it, all of it was intentional. I think the bad choreography,
it was supposed to be a blaxploitation flick.
Yeah.
A modern day blaxploitation flick. And if you've seen like Dolomite or The Mac or any of those old blaxploitation flicks where a pimp took on the mafia and cleaned up the hood, that was some terrible acting and fight scenes. Luke Cage at least gave us great acting.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a blaxploitation flick at every level. It was a blaxploitation flick.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. It's just weird. Like it's one of those things where it's intentionally bad, and that intentionally being bad is great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally will buy into that with you. I had a blast with Luke Cage. Sometimes, based on how I feel, it moves from it can move into first place, but definitely a serious tie with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Those are my two favorites so far. Still, I got to see what's going to happen with Iron Fist. I'm still excited about that.
Oh, they announced Jessica Jones season 2 is coming, and every episode of Jessica Jones season 2 is going to have a female director.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people have been asking me. My buddy JJ reached out to me this week, and he was asking me, hey, about the Defenders, do you know who it's going to be? Mm-hmm. And I told him, well, I know Luke Cage and Danny are going to be on there. So, Luke, Power Man and Iron Fist are going to be there. He was wondering if we were going to get Jessica or if we were going to get Misty. And I think it's been confirmed we are getting Jessica Jones, although I wouldn't be shocked if Daredevil and Misty don't show up. I really just would be shocked if I don't see them in there.
In Defenders?
I would be shocked if we don't see them cross paths with them somewhere.
Well, I think what it's going to be is like we're going to follow Jessica, Luke, Daredevil, and Iron Fist. Those are going to be the main characters, and then they're going to pull in all of the ancillary characters that have been across all the shows. So the evil lawyer woman, they're going to pull in just everybody that's a secondary character in all of those other shows. Maybe they're going to be in one scene, maybe they're going to be in a couple of episodes, maybe they're just going to be mentioned, but they're going to be there. What we really need is just a little teeny Spider-Man just fucking swinging from building to building in the background.
Let's just say
just a little bit.
Okay, if you're hearing this show, this is a thing that Brandon has always said.
That's what we need.
Digitize a Spider-Man swinging.
Yeah, just
from building to building in the background, where they just kind of acknowledge, hey, they're here.
Or just have like a where they're walking through and there's a newspaper machine, and like the newspaper that's on the front just has a picture of Spider-Man on it or something.
Here's the thing. I'm reading the new Jessica Jones comic book, right? Mm-hmm. And it's part of the new Marvel Now series, so I picked up issue 1. And it's funny that you say that to me, because in the issue, she's talking to a woman, right, and doing the interview. And as she's talking to the woman doing the interview with her, the funniest thing freaking happens. You can see Miss Marvel, Nova, and Miles Morales Spider-Man going down the street while she's interviewing her and talking to her. And so as she's doing that, you're kind of going, oh shit, they're acknowledging that the Champions team has been formed and it's in Jessica Jones' universe. And then you see Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, from a building spying on Jessica Jones. And I guess what happened is that Jessica and Luke are on the outs right now, and he hasn't seen his daughter, and he's trying to figure out where she's at. And she's not telling anybody. And so he keeps sending Mystic Knight to ask her. He sends Spider-Woman to ask her. And she's like, tell my husband to quit sending his superhero friends. Say, well, why don't you just let him see her? Still don't know where the daughter is. And she hadn't talked before Luke shows up in the final frame of the comic book that says, hey, honey, where's our daughter? So not quite sure what's going on here. But, I don't even know if Kilgrave's involved in this, but the daughter is missing now. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen with the comic book. Also, when you were talking about those female directors, I looked this up. I see it's S.J. Clarkson, and she directed some Orange is the New Black. She also did Vinyl, which was on HBO. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of neat seeing, a well-known female director that's going to be stepping up and taking the reins of that season 2, man. So I'm really happy to see that. That's what's going to happen with that. That'll be good. Man, anything else we missed this week?
I think that's everything, really.
Man, dude, we're cool. I'll be starting up these comic book series right now. So I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon getting into the new Batman, the Victim Syndicate.
Don't you lie.
Well, I got to read those, but I'm also going to be playing
that dating sim all night.
I will be definitely getting back into the dating sim sometime tonight, but I got to finish off. I'm in the process. Remember where I said I was going to quit watching anime and I was going to start playing more games? And I spent I'm playing FIFA Online on the Xbox One, and I held my own. I lost 1-0 in my first match on the Xbox One, but it was the fact that this fool didn't score to the 78th minute. I was putting the heat on his ass, and I just could not put enough offense together on there. So I am going to be sticking with playing that now. Just seeing what happens, have some fun with it. I'm also going to be doing the dating sim, and I need to finish up Life is Strange on the PS4.
You better have that Princess Peach outfit tomorrow.
I gotta go pick up a fucking wig and gloves and a tiara for tomorrow. I'm not wearing that dress, man. I'm done. The dresses are out. I'm done with dresses.
You're wearing the dress.
Me and pink dresses. I'm spending money on a dress I will never wear anywhere.
You can wear it anywhere you want to wear it.
Just because this is Austin does not mean I can wear that dress anywhere I want to wear. It's true. I could go to church in that dress in Austin and nobody would even blink.
Do this. Just get a pink t-shirt and then get a little pink tutu and just wear that.
Done, and done. I'm done. That's it. There we go. I will wear a pink tutu tomorrow.
Yeah. And get a little blonde wig.
Oh yeah, the wig's on lock. I had the wig I did. Like I went to the place and they had the wig and I looked stunning in that wig. But I'm trying to decide, do I want to keep the stubble and a goatee for my...
No, you need the stubble and the goatee. Get some little white gloves too.
Oh yeah, the gloves came with the tiara.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, am I going to keep the stubble and the goatee with this? Because I got to shave my head to put the wig on because that's going to scratch the crap out of my scalp all day. But yeah, no, it's a done deal. I will do a pink. I have a pink t-shirt. I just didn't want to pay for this pink dress. That's been driving me nuts.
Yeah, just go get a pink tutu and just put that on, and then get a pink shirt, put that on, the white gloves and the tiara and the hair.
I almost bought some of those warm-up pants for big girls that say juicy on the booty. I almost
you should get
I was going to do that. I was just going to wear some pants that say juicy on the booty.
Just do it.
Just so I could have my pink outfit and just be like, Princess Peach has really let herself go. It's like more like Princess Trailer Park Peach.
Okay, I got to show you this because I need independent confirmation on this. You remember Norm, right?
Yes, and yes. And I know what you're about to show me.
Did you see that thing I posted on his page?
Norm as Harley Quinn?
Yeah, I swear that's him. That has to be him. There's no way in hell that's not him. I mean, really. Like, it's just scary. I mean, it's scary, but it's just scary how much it looks like him.
Bro, is he saying it's not him?
He has... I don't think he's confirmed or denied it, to be honest. Let's see.
That is... Look, man.
He says, lol, that is hilarious, lol. But he never actually confirmed or denied that it was him.
That is... that's beautiful. I actually thought it was him. And I know a bunch of people
seriously thought it was him.
I know a bunch of our friends think this is him. Okay? They were like, look, this has got to be Norm. And it looks like him. At the point when you put the picture up there, I thought, dude, Norm is wilded out, man. And he is... I did French Maid. He puts on the Harlequin outfit and he kills it. But he's not confirming it's him. He's not denying or confirming.
His wife said that it was hilarious. And then Steven has it as his desktop background.
Yeah, no. It's on several people's phones, man, as a background.
Joshua Bing says, my eyes, oh dear God, my eyes.
We got to put this, if you follow us on Twitter, I'm putting this on our Twitter page, and I'm going to put this on our Facebook page today. We got to have this on here, because I swear to God, this is Norm.
I got to make a comparison picture. Like, I'm going to
Please
have to go...
get a side-by-side of those two, man, because we need to confirm.
There's a lot of side-by-side going on there.
Yeah, bro. I don't know if you've seen this, but
Norm is not a small man.
Have you seen the thing where Tom Hanks did Black Jeopardy?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, it's the greatest skit you will ever see. But there's a question on there, and it's skinny girls can do this for you. And he said, what is not a damn thing? He said, my wife is a sturdy woman. And it is so cool because you got this kind of southern drawl redneck Trump supporter on Black Jeopardy, and he's got a lot more in common with black people than you would think. And it was just like the greatest skit ever that they've done in years. It's my favorite. But man, that is, when I saw that this week, the first thing that popped into my head was this picture of Norm Harley Quinn. It was like, well, skinny girls can do this for you. Not a damn thing. Oh, so man, look, we got to get up out of here. I'll be seeing you next week. I know we got some busyness going on, but my life is starting to stabilize, so no upcoming gigs, no booking anything, so I'll be ready to go next week.
All right.
We'll get back on a regular schedule. Plus, the good news is we've launched our last big game for our company, so we can kind of take a breather.
We don't have anything else coming up?
Nothing.
Nothing for
Done.
the rest of the year?
Done. We are launched. The launches have quit. It started August 26th, but we finally can say, yes.
I could have sworn there was something we were going to do in November.
Nope. We're just all the way smooth sailing to Christmas now. We just deal with everybody that's going to buy the games at Christmas and get them.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That means we're going to stabilize out. We're going to have good times, man. It's going to get back to a regular schedule. We survived our first launch season with Team Lift.
Yep.
There we did it. And we thank every one of you for listening while we did it, because I promise you there's been many a week we've called you chuckleheads and said, fuck it, we're not doing the show anymore. But we did it. And this is episode 21 in the can.
Yep.
All right, man, cool. We're done. Man, you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time. Peace. Thanks for listening to the Team Lift Podcast with your hosts, Brendan Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Join us again next week as we discuss more topics from geek culture. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter page at GoTeamLift, as well as our personal pages at Coach Silky and at Bizide. You can direct questions and comments to us on our Twitter page, as well as find links to all of our social media outlets. Thank you for listening. See you again next week.